Recording the screen. Good. So, I'm just going to share. Ok, super. Voilà. Donc, today, we're doing leçon 3 on être. Être, which is probably the most common French verb, meaning to be. And I think you all know that's probably the most useful verb you're going to learn. So we're going to try to drill it today and use it to describe things in your life. So, objectives for this course: to be able to conjugate the verb être, and I'll explain a bit what that means, conjugation, in present tense, and to use adjectives to describe oneself, other people, and one's home, I guess, and then generally kind of your family and things like that. And so we're going to be kind of drilling the conjugation and going over how to use it with some adjective work. So, before we do this, Rebecca, could you get the PowerPoint up on your phone? Because we have a little review conversation again that incorporates elements from our past 2 lessons and maybe hints a little bit at today's lesson. So, again, like last time, the first time, we just want you two to sit back and relax and listen to the conversation and try to understand what's going on. There's going to be some unfamiliar vocabulary again, but anything that will that stands out to you, anything you can kind of parse from it, would be good. And then Rebecca, when you have the conversation up, let me know.
Yeah, I have the notes.
Okay. Yeah, there should be good.
Okay. Salut Gilbert.
Salut Martine, ça va?
Très bien. Mon anniversaire est bientôt.
Félicitations. Quelle est la date?
Le 15 janvier.
Quelle coïncidence! C'est aussi l'anniversaire de mon frère.
Waouh! Quel âge a-t-il?
Il a 30 ans. Et toi?
J'ai 28 ans. Il a 2 ans de plus que moi.
Joyeux anniversaire alors. Amuse-toi.
Merci. À bientôt.
Okay. There should have been some familiar words there. It's good. So this time, we have these questions here on the right. I'm going to go over them now. You should be able to figure out what is Martine's birthday, when is Gilbert's brother's birthday, how old is Gilbert, and how old is Martine. There's only one, there's one familiar word that's helpful here. Mon frère means brother. Think Frère Jacques. If you know the old French song, Frère Jacques, Frère Jacques. It's actually about like a brother, like a saint brother. So, a little vocabulary. But yeah, try to pay attention to these 4 things. We're going to go through the conversation one more time. So, Rebecca, take it away.
Okay, and I think maybe if you guys are comfortable, because the chat box is not working well, and also I think it would just be a little more challenging if I just called on someone to answer the questions.
Okay.
How do you guys? That's okay. Okay.
I think we'll see how it works. Yeah.
Be just prepared. Okay.
And also, I recommend that you shadow the conversation, repeat it after us, because again, we're gonna have a little volunteer to take over Rebecca's part. So
yeah.
Study up. Okay.
Okay. Salut Gilbert.
Salut Martine. Ça va?
Très bien. Mon anniversaire est bientôt.
Félicitations. Quelle est la date?
Le 15 janvier.
Quelle coïncidence! C'est aussi l'anniversaire de mon frère.
Waouh! Quel âge a-t-il?
Il a 30 ans. Et toi?
J'ai 28 ans. Il a 2 ans de plus que moi.
Joyeux anniversaire alors. Amuse-toi.
Merci. À bientôt.
Okay. So let's go to the questions now. So Rebecca, who do we got?
Okay. Oh, and also before I call on people, so we're reading the conversation, kind of slowly. But if it's too slow or if it's too fast, and we would be happy to adjust the speed. So just let us know. Okay. So when is Martine's birthday? Let's start with Colleen.
I believe Martine's birthday is the 15th of January.
Yes.
That is correct. Yes.
Yeah. Très bien.
Très bien. And we know that because
Okay.
it's le 15
Merci.
janvier. Merci beaucoup. Le 15 janvier,
Merci.
15th of January. Good.
Mm-hmm. So number 2, when is Gilbert's brother's birthday? Ezekiel.
Is also January 15th
Great.
Mm-hmm. And why? How do you know that?
because Gilbert says, "Oh, what a coincidence."
Yes, très bien. Okay.
Quelle coïncidence. Yes.
Um,
And then to translate,
coincidence.
to translate more, that's like it's also the birthday of my brother, or I guess my brother's birthday. That's how they say in French. It's also my brother's birthday. And Ezekiel, an added challenge. How would you pronounce this word or this phrase here?
The birthday.
Yep, the birthday right here.
Le 15 janvier.
Super. I would say more of a 15, like an kind of nasally, but you got the rest of it really, really well. Like le 15 janvier. Good. Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Numéro 3. How old is Gilbert's brother? Okay. This one seems pretty tricky. Megan.
13 years old.
Close. What phrase hinted you off to that? Which French phrase?
Il a 30 ans.
Super. I think this is a tricky one because they have so many different words for that kind of start similarly. So 30 means 30. And then 13 is 13. So they're about half the same word. So it's something tough to look out for. And then 3, is 3. So good job recognizing they were related. Then 30 means 30. So il a 30 ans. Et 3. There's also another hint that's laying in this answer if you could decipher this. But we'll let the person who's doing number 4 answer that. I mean numéro 4.
Mm-hmm. Kiddist, are you? So I saw your name pop up. If you're able to use your mic, if you could just say bonjour, that would be great. If your mic is not working, our chat box is not working too well, so either text me if you say I'm here and I don't say anything, so that I'm able to call you. Kenneth, numéro 4. How old is Martine?
Are you hearing that buzzing noise, Rebecca?
Yeah. So if you're not speaking right now, maybe turn off your microphone. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, we're getting some feedback from someone, I think. And
We have an answer from Kenneth. So Martine is 28.
Exactement. Exactly. And we know that from two things. So we say j'ai 28 ans right here. I am 28 years old. 28. Good. And then we also threw in a little thing here. Il a 2 ans.
Oh, actually, Kenneth just sent he knows that second sentence too.
Oh.
So he said it also says that the brother is 2 years older.
Wow. We don't even need it. Kenneth doesn't need us. We've been replaced. Il a 2 ans de plus que moi. Exactement. He has 2 years more than me, is how you'd say it literally. But yeah, he's 2 years older than me. And then, I know this isn't a math class, but 28 plus 2 makes 30. So that's another way, when you're trying to listen to a language, you don't know everything that's going on. Finding things from context, trying to piece things together. Great job. Okay. I'll go over also a bit some of this other extraneous kind of new vocabulary that might not have been clear. We went over très bien last class, means very good. Here, mon anniversaire est bientôt. Does anyone have any guesses of what bientôt might mean here? We also went over it in a previous class, so it could be lost out. It was a part of another thing.
Soon.
Exactement. Great.
Très bien.
My birthday is soon. Félicitations, congratulations. What is the date? Le 15 janvier, we already said 15th of January. Quelle coïncidence, c'est aussi l'anniversaire de mon frère, my brother's birthday. Wow, that's actually how you spell wow in French phonetic spelling. Wow. Quel âge a-t-il? How old is he?
He's 30.
Yep. And I guess joyeux anniversaire. Alors means like so. So it'd be like, so happy birthday. Amuse-toi. I guess like have fun. Merci, à bientôt. Great. So, are there any questions about words here before we do a little exercise, a little your turn exercise? If not, Rebecca, could you choose a nice volunteer? I guess if we're choosing them, there's not a volunteer, but
Yeah, I believe Colleen did the conversation last time.
yes.
So, how about Megan?
Megan, bonjour. Tu es là?
Bonjour.
Super. Okay, so start us out whenever you're ready. You're gonna be Martine today, and you got the purple text on the left.
Okay. Salut Gilbert.
Salut Martine, ça va?
Très bien. Mon anniversaire est bientôt.
Félicitations. Quelle est la date?
Le 15 janvier.
Quelle coïncidence! C'est aussi l'anniversaire de mon frère.
Oh, quel âge a-t-il?
Il a 30 ans. Et toi?
J'ai 28 ans. Il a 2 un de plus que moi.
Joyeux anniversaire alors. Amuse-toi.
Merci, à bientôt.
Super. Merci beaucoup, Megan. Overall, really good job. I think I don't have a lot of good notes. I think good job of working on that French R with the très bien. Quel âge a-t-il? All flowed together really nice. And the 28 ans, getting that pronouncing the end vowel or the end consonant here before the vowel. Good job. I think what's a tough rule is knowing when to pronounce that last vowel. So, for instance, you normally don't pronounce the T at the end, except for when it's in front of a vowel. So you are right to do it here. J'ai 28 ans. But for instance, bientôt, you would not pronounce that T there. Bientôt. And then also you wouldn't pronounce the T. But I think you did that one right. And then also with a word like Gilbert, the T you also don't pronounce. When I was in French class, we had to choose French names, and I was like in the 6th grade, and I chose Gilbert because I thought it was funny the difference between how it sounds and how it looks. Because you're right, looking at this from English, it looks like Gilbert, which isn't the most pretty name, but Gilbert rolls off the tongue. Gilbert. And then I think also, again, this is kind of a Frenchicism of a American word, but if you're looking at it phonetically from the French perspective, wa oo, the ou makes an oo sound, so it essentially makes wow, like wow. How old is he? Rebecca, do you have any other notes? Anything you picked up on?
I think, yeah, I mean, overall really good. I think it's tricky to make sure to not pronounce the consonants at the end, because sometimes they are pronounced when the next word starts with a vowel.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's tricky. A note with the like Gilbert. So in French, the G can either be like J, like Gilbert, or it can be like a hard G, like garage. So if it's G followed by an A or A-O-U, it's going to be a hard G. But if it's an I or an E, so an I like Gilbert, or an E like âge, quel âge a-t-il, then it's the soft G, like J.
Yeah. Thanks, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions about pronunciation, about vocabulary before we move on? If so, please either speak up now or text Rebecca at any time, or put in the chat box if you are Kenneth, or if the chat box suddenly works for you. If not, we're going to move on to today's lesson. So today's lesson is on être. Être is the verb meaning to be. So a little bit about linguistics, because this is important for understanding kind of how to approach learning a language. So with a language like French, we have things called infinitives, and this is the general form of the verb. In a language like English, it's something to say like to be, or to run, to swim. That is our version of an infinitive. In French, it's just one word. Yeah, pretty much always just one word, except if they're reflexive, but we're not getting to that yet. For être, être means to be, but être doesn't, the infinitive doesn't always match up to how you conjugate it. So conjugation refers to the different forms that the verb takes depending on the subject. It sounds complicated, but you do it all the time in English without even thinking about it. For instance, the verb is to be, but you say I am, you are, he is, she is. If I say I are, it would sound wrong. So we do this all the time in English, this form conjugation. So what we're doing here in French is when we say we're talking about conjugating a verb, we're taking this infinitive form and we're putting it in front of each of these subjects and seeing the different forms it takes. And in many languages, the to be verb is going to conjugate differently than the other verbs, or it's going to be an irregular verb. Later on, we'll get to verbs that follow regular patterns, so it won't feel just like rote memorization after a while. After a while, you'll get a sense like, oh, I'll know how to spell this. But for the to be verb, since we're going to be using this so much and it's kind of irregular, we're going to try to drill this a good bit. So, if you could repeat after me, I'm going to go through each of these. Well, first I'm going to go over it in English so you know what's going on. But actually, it makes sense. It's I am, you are, he, she is, we are, you are, they are, etc. So, starting with je suis, I'm going to go down the line. Try to repeat after me. So, je suis, tu es, il, elle, on, est, il, elle, on, est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils, elles sont. Ils, elles sont. So a few things off the bat about pronunciation. Il and elle here sounds the same as il or elle here. You don't pronounce the S at the end. Same with the S's at the end of nous and sommes and et. And a and suis for that matter. You don't pronounce any of those S's. The only time we did was with vous êtes, but that's because it's starting with a vowel. Vous êtes, and it takes the form of a kind of Z. We have il, elle, on. On refers to one, as in like one should not do that, or one should, I don't know, go to bed early and wake up early. Talk about a general one person. Other things, so there's a difference between the oo sound. In French, there are two oo sounds. We have the nous, which is a nice round oo, like you'd probably do in English or like you'd hear in German. Versus here we have a tu, u. It's I wish you could see my mouth right now. It's kind of like you're making a disgusted face, like you're like, ew, what's that? It's like tu. Try to say that a few times with me. Tu es. Tu es. Do you have any tips for how to pronounce that, Rebecca, for beginner French people?
For tu, yeah. So I guess just with the you, just don't be afraid to kind of exaggerate it and make it like tu. So it's almost like it's TYU. It's not. It's yeah. So imagine it's TYU. Tu.
Yeah. Okay. So take a snapshot of this right now, because we're gonna do a mini identification quiz. So just take a nice little look. Okay. So, if we're saying ils sont, what does that mean?
They are. Someone said
He
it.
is.
Yes, we got they are is correct. And I put an M because it's masculine. And yeah, I guess I thought it was intuitive, but you say different forms of they depending on if it's masculine or feminine. And unfortunately, in French, if it's a mixed group, you use the masculine. They just default on masculine. So even if there's just one guy in a group, you would refer to it with ils sont. But great, good job. I heard a he is, that'd be il est, without the S here. Good. Je suis.
I am.
Good. I am. Tu es.
You are.
Yep,
are.
you are. And this is singular and formal, so you'd only use this when talking to someone in your family, a friend, maybe someone your age, like, and only when it's one person. I guess we have a spoiler here. Nous sommes is we are. Nous sommes. Elle est.
She is.
Yep, she is. On est.
You are.
One is.
One
One
is. Good job. And also, it kind of, in colloquial French, if you say like on est is doing something, it means like we are doing something too. But that's getting to advanced stuff. Vous êtes. I'm not sure if I heard something.
I heard a you.
Okay.
You are
You
is one in
are.
the chat.
Yep, you are. And in what situations do we use the vous again? There are two situations in which we'd use it.
Formal and multiple.
Exactly. Good job. Okay, so, pour exercice numéro 1, on va discuter ta nationalité. We're going to discuss your nationality. So, probably one of the first conversations you'd have with someone in French is talking about where you're from and who you are. So, for instance, if you want to say, I am something, then we have all sorts of kind of nationalities you can use to describe yourself. So, I'm going to name all these out here. I put down a few, but also if you identify with a nationality that isn't on here and you want to know what it is, then when we're done with the list, I'll have a time for you to put it in the chat, send it to Rebecca, whatever. So, let's read through all of these. Repeat after me. Je suis américain. Je suis américain. Je suis français. Je suis français. Je suis marocain. Je suis marocain. Je suis belge. Je suis belge. And I'm going to do it one more time with the feminine pronunciations. Je suis américaine. Je suis américaine. Je suis française. Je suis française. Je suis marocaine. Je suis marocaine. And then you'd say je suis belge, the same way they say it before. If you couldn't guess by now, I'm American, I'm French, I'm Moroccan, another place in North Africa or the Maghreb where French is still in a lot of institutions, and I am Belgian, je suis belge. Are there any other nationalities that anyone would like to know? Just to know how to say? If so, please let me know. Do we have something in the chat, Rebecca? I think I'm not sure. I'll read through these.
We have in the chat box someone said El Salvador.
El Salvador. I'm gonna look this up. I'm pretty sure it's Salvadorian, but I'm not entirely sure. let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so it'd be Salvador, I-E-N. Salvadorien. And then if you are a woman or identify as female, it would be Salvadorienne with the same thing, Salvador, but I-E-N-N-E. N. Great. If there are any more, please put them in the chat. If not, we're moving on to how to say I come from somewhere. So this is the name of the countries. So repeat after me. Je viens des États-Unis. Je viens.
There's something in the chat box.
Oh, there's something in the chat box. Rebecca, is there a?
Yeah, I'm just gonna type it in the chat box, so Teddy, you can continue.
Okay, cool. Je viens des États-Unis. Je viens des États-Unis. Je viens de la France. Je viens de la France. Je viens du Maroc. Je viens du Maroc. Je viens de la Belgique. Je viens de la Belgique. So, saying I come from these places. États-Unis means literally United States. France, Morocco, Belgium, etc. So I'd like you to try to internalize what you would say to a Francophone person if you were trying to explain your nationality. And we're going to try to use this now to apply to other people, to Francophone characters. So, for instance, Remy the Rat from Ratatouille, we all know is from France. It's common knowledge. So, if we're trying to explain where he's from, what his nationality is, we would say il est, as we said, and il vient de. I guess the same as, it pronounces the same as je viens de. So, could we get a volunteer to tell us where Remy the Rat is from and what his nationality is? Rebecca. Lay it on me.
Okay, so I'll actually choose, not really a volunteer, I'll choose. So Na, I know you just got here, but I'd like you to try. So il est is he is, and then in the left column you have all the nationalities as an adjective. So you can say he is French, and then il vient de means literally he comes from, and then choose the country. That makes sense.
All right, I'll try my best.
Yeah.
Il est français.
Très bien.
Et il vient de.
Bien.
Oh, il vient de. I don't know. Of France.
Mhm,
Oui.
De la France. Mhm. Très bien.
Yep. Exactly. Il est français. Il vient de la France. And in French, we have that article always from the France. But yeah, good job. And making sure we get the vient. And that again is like a nasally sound. And I know in French they have like weirdly different nasally sounds. That's like a un as opposed to an on. But yeah, il vient de la France. Super. Audrey Hepburn, and I know is actually her. I just learned this. Her birth name is Edda van Heemstra Hepburn Rusten, and she's actually Belgian. So if we want to say that Audrey Hepburn was Belgian. How do we say that?
Ezekiel.
Elle est belge.
Très bien, elle est belge.
Et can we get that second sentence as well?
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Elle vient de la Belgique.
Super. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job at getting the J and the Jik, since we know that the G is kind of finicky. I think also Nod did this. I think a lot of beginner French students do this, making sure not to pronounce the T at the ends of words. So you did it well on vient, but I think I heard a little T here. Maybe I'm just hearing something. I also heard, I think, a T on A, the and, earlier. And so it's not et, that's Latin. And to be fair, French is kind of a Latin language, so, maybe that's just calling back to some further back roots, but yes. Apart from that, really good.
Yeah,
Really good job, Ezekiel.
Yeah.
Très bien. And just a note with A, which is the ET as an and. So, French, we have the rules, but there are a couple exceptions. So there's the rule that if there's a consonant at the end and then there's a vowel after, you say the T. But A as an and is one exception where the T is always silent.
Oh.
Always.
Yeah. Good note. Okay. And then I'm going to do this last one. So Rashid Yazami was one of the scientists that pioneered the lithium battery. He's from Morocco. So we'd say il est marocain et il vient du Maroc. Again, pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please let me know. I know it's throwing a bunch at you. Also, we're gonna go over negations. So, ne pas is how you'd say not. So it's actually two words in French, and what they do is they hug the verb. So, for instance, if we were to say nous sommes, we are. Nous ne sommes pas. We are not. The ne hugs the some. Or the ne pas hugs the verb that you're conjugating. Je suis would be je ne suis pas. Vous êtes. Here we're gonna come across another rule, which is that if you have these two vowels rubbing up against each other, the French don't like it. They want their language to be pretty, to be fluid. Vous ne êtes pas doesn't sound good. They want to say vous n'êtes pas. Apostrophe. So, what do you think would be for tu es if you were to say you are not? How would that look?
Tu n'es pas.
Exactly. Super. Tu n'es pas. With that apostrophe. Good. So, for this next exercise, we're going to give you opposing adjectives, and we'd like you to say what you are and what you are not. So, for instance, here we have grand or grande, and petit or petite, meaning tall and short, or just generally big and small. So if you could say, if you are tall, like for instance, I'm tall, you'd say, je suis grand, je ne suis pas petit. I am tall, I am not short. So Rebecca, who we got?
Okay, and I'll just model the feminine one. So because I identify as female, I'm going to put the E at the end, and that changes the pronunciation a little bit. So it's je suis grande, je ne suis... Oh, actually, sorry, I'm small. So I would say je suis petite, je ne suis pas grande. Kiddist, are you able to use your microphone? Non, je sais pas. Ok. Colleen.
Oui. Je suis petite. Je suis petite. Je ne suis pas grande.
Super.
Super. Très bien.
Great. Moving on. We got beau or belle, which means, like, I guess, beautiful or handsome. And then laid or laide, which means ugly. And you know what?
I think that dog is cute. I like that dog.
I looked up like ugly cute dogs because I don't want to I didn't want to offend anyone or any dogs. I think, and we won't be offended by your answer either. If you think you're ugly cute too, feel free to say that you are laid or led. Who we got?
That second dog looks like an alien.
A cute alien, though. To me.
I agree. I think it has a charm to it. I think with the right owner, it could be loved well. Who we got, Rebecca?
Okay. Now, would you like to try this one?
Sure, I'd love to. Well, because of quarantine, je suis
Oh no.
lad,
Red.
and je ne suis pas belle.
Oui, okay. I can't see you, so I can't say agree or disagree, but I understand quarantine is hard. You're not really going anywhere, so you're not getting dressed up. Yeah, just make sure don't say the S at the end of suis. Je suis laide, je ne suis pas belle.
Yes, but you said it, belle. So,
Yeah,
félicitations.
tellement. And
Yeah.
so you notice I corrected myself because I said je suis pas. I didn't say the ne. So that's out of that's what happens when you become more fluent. The way that French people talk, the ne is so like, everyone knows it's there. So French people, a lot of the time, will kind of not pronounce it. They'll just say je suis pas. They won't say je ne suis pas. But for now, definitely pronounce every word.
Yep. Okay. Moving on to intelligent or intelligente and stupide. Stupide. Again, don't make it.
The teeth.
Huh?
The teeth are so funny.
I tried to get some visual similarity
Okay.
too. I feel like these are like alternate forms of the same. But okay, who we got, Rebecca?
Okay. Ezekiel?
Je suis intelligent.
Très bien.
Je ne suis pas stupide.
You know what? We agreed.
Oui.
You proved it.
On est d'accord. We agree. Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. Stupide. Very good. Intelligent. The only thing I'd say to look out for is the un. That's a very nasal. Intelligent. But yeah. Good job. Moving on to sympathique. 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 And méchant. Méchant or méchante.
I love these pictures, Teddy.
Thanks.
Oh God. Okay.
Kind or mean.
Mhm.
So, who we got?
Okay. So, are you petting the dog or are you chasing it with a stick? Colleen?
Je suis sympathique. Je ne suis pas méchante.
Parfait.
Très bien, on est d'accord. Oui, on
Oui.
est d'accord.
Good.
Yes.
And next we got jeune et âgé. And here the E doesn't make any pronunciation difference. It's âgé either way. Jeune, âgé. And who we got, Rebecca?
Megan. Megan, tu es là?
Je suis jeune. Je ne suis pas âgé.
Super.
Oui, parfait.
Great.
Perfect.
And then I guess something âgé and jeune pronounce perfectly. That's something we didn't really, that we hinted at before, but make sure to do. Pas âgé. You pronounce this S because it's from this vowel. Je ne suis pas âgé. Even though normally it's just pas. But everything else perfect.
Très bien.
Next up, for our final activity, I'd like for each of you to make one sentence using any of these, sentence beginnings. We have ma mère, which is my mom, les Schtroumpfs, which is the Smurfs, which are another Belgian export. Nous as a class, vous, like if you're talking to me and Rebecca, what would you say about us? Hopefully nice things. Give us lots of compliments, maybe. And then create your own, any person or any character. So if you could each make a sentence and either send it in the chat box, text it to Rebecca, or just keep it to yourself, and then I think in a minute or 2 minutes we will share. So I guess if you finish writing yours, then just send it right away. If you want to say it out loud and get pronunciation, then wait until we're calling out.
Okay, we got in the chat box, ma mère est intelligente. Who's Megan? Thank you. Merci. And then, yeah, I know that you probably don't have a French keyboard, so there's that accent grave that's tilting to the left on the ma mère.
Yep.
But good job conjugating that, or making the adjective agree, not conjugating. So because la mère, mom is feminine, it's intelligente, avec un E with an E. Okay. And yeah, si tu veux, if you want, tu peux dire ta phrase. You can say your phrase out loud, but it's up to you.
Yep.
So we got Megan. We got Kenneth. Nous sommes très intelligents. Okay, so here, something I don't think we went over, maybe. So, nous sommes très intelligents. So we make the adjective, we add an E if the subject is feminine. But if the subject is plural, we have to add an S. So it would be nous sommes très intelligents, but with an S. Kenneth, can you send in the sentence again, but with the adjective in agreement?
Yeah. Anything new, Rebecca? Rebecca, hello. Rebecca, are you there?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Okay.
Okay.
So Kenneth, great correction. So nous sommes très intelligents avec, with le S à la fin, at the end. Here we have, is this from, there's no name. Is it Colleen, perhaps? Ma mère est belle, trinidadienne, intelligente. So, oui, okay, quick spelling. Think Trinidadienne, like that, Dienne. And in French, you don't capitalize the adjectives for like a nationality. So Trinidadienne, Français, all those, it's lowercase. But yeah, good job choosing belle. That's the feminine for beautiful, and intelligente with the E. Okay, we have a sentence from Na as well. Your moms would be very happy. Any compliments to the moms. Ma mère est jeune et belle. So she's young and beautiful. Très bien.
Super.
Okay, Ezekiel. Ma mère et mon père sont salvadoriens. Parfait. Yeah, so the accents, I know the keyboard, but there would be the accent grave on the mère and père, and good job putting the S on the salvadorien. And even though, it's mom and dad, because there's one male, it defaults to masculine, so also good job not adding an E, even though you're talking about your mom. Oh, Ezekiel, did you hear my explanation? Ezekiel? Because I just saw you logged back in. I hope you heard my explanation. I basically said good job. Your sentence is good.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're running out of time.
Yeah.
So
I think that's everyone.
yeah. Great job. I think we did pretty well today. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I think we're gonna try to get that sorted out. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but thanks for being flexible. Again, homework I think is kind of similar. We have the Quizlet, which we'd like you to look over. We'll send out an optional activity if you'd like to get feedback using these constructions, and then we're going to send out some French media, Francophone media, for you to consume. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to send us emails. We'll be more than happy to. And also, I'm screen recording these classes, so I'm going to upload last week's class. If you couldn't make it last class, and you want to get all the information, then feel free to take a look. Does anyone have any questions?
Okay, nothing in the chat box.
Okay. If not, I think we